right, welcome everyone. It's so good to have you all here tonight. It is December the 8th, 2025. Goodness gracious, Christmas is almost upon us. But I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone took advantage of the Black Friday sales and the Alavita sale, which goes for another couple days. But we're so glad to have you guys tonight. We have lots of estheticians, massage therapists, and hairdressers on our team, and I've been realizing all the issues that come with being in that profession for many, many years. So that's what we're going to address tonight, and then we'll get this recording up in a day or two, and you'll be able to share it with people in those professions or any profession because pain is pain, and we know what we have helps with pain. But first, let's let Dr. Stan do our disclaimer, and then we'll get started.
Welcome, everyone, to our Monday night podcast. We are so excited you're here with us. You're going to hear some exciting information, some stories, testimonies about how Lifewave technology has truly changed their lives for the better. But we want you to understand that we are not prescribing, diagnosing, or treating any kind of sickness or disease. If you have medical concerns, medical challenges, questions, you need to basically ask your medical doctor or practitioner or whoever it is that you get your medical advice from. We're here for information and inspirational only. And that also includes those that are pregnant and nursing. So, Jody, take it away.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Stan. We appreciate that. Dr. Stan will be back at the end to tell you exactly what we're talking about and how it works. So just hang tight if you're new. And first of all, I'm going to ask my friend Claudia to say hello and tell everybody where you're from, Claudia, and how long you've been in the industry that you're in, what you do.
I am in Middle Tennessee, in Murfreesboro, near Nashville, and I have been doing hair for over 35 years. And I have been using LifeWave patches since, well, 2.5 years.
Yeah.
I don't think that people realize how difficult and how brutal being a hairstylist, especially for that many years, can be on your body. It really does break down your entire body. We stand all day. It is repetitive motion, but yet we're standing in the same spot. So our hips and legs and feet hold a lot of dead energy, pressure, and our arms and shoulders are always moving. So it's very it's a little bit bizarre. We go home with aches and pains and headaches and even posture issues, that rounded shoulder because our arms are rounded because we are taking care of the head, the hair with our clients. And it is brutal. I know that I had from top to bottom, I had headaches, I had neck pain, I had shoulder pain, I had mid back pain, low back pain, elbows, thumbs, wrists, feet, that burning sensation. Didn't matter what shoes. I never wore high heels. I don't see how stylists do that. I always wore decent, comfortable shoes, and my feet still burned by the end of the day. Just brutal. And 35 years in, well, 32 years in, I guess, when I started with Lifewave, Jody introduced me to him because I had torn my shoulder and I had not had a good night's sleep and had been excruciating pain for probably 4 years. And the first thing I noticed was 2 weeks in when I tried 39 and Eon is I slept through the night. So my first 2 weeks slept through the night. And that told me that my pain was not waking me up in the night anymore. And it kept me awake. I would wake up 4, 5, 6 times a night and had done that for probably 3 to 4 years. So it was pretty bad.
I
So I knew
remember
when I
that first.
slept the whole night through, I was
Yep.
on to something.
I remember that first phone call, like, oh my gosh, I woke up this morning and realized I had slept.
The whole night, did not wake up one time. That was huge for me.
Awesome,
Um,
awesome.
so
What did
yeah.
you notice after that?
Probably 2 weeks in, like I said, I slept the whole night. My pain was not diminished during the day, but it obviously was during the night, not enough to wake me up. So that was huge. Probably 6, 8 weeks in, I noticed that my feet were not burning. They were achy, but they were not burning. That nerve pain was not, they were not on fire. Probably 4 months in is when I noticed my shoulder, which was the whole reason I started anyway, was starting to ease. And probably I started in April, and I was on a motorcycle trip in late July. And I hopped up on my husband's motorcycle, and I realized that I was using my shoulder and my arm, and it didn't hurt. And he
What?
noticed. I was able to put my weight on it and hop up on the bike without any issue. Um, it just got better from there. 6, 8 months in, I had no more migraine headaches. I had better posture and no pain. It just went away. Like just all the pain went away. And then I realized, hey, not only is my shoulder not hurting, but my feet aren't burning, my thumb and my wrist and my you know, migraines. It's just like I just started realizing I don't have any pain anymore. Stopped taking ibuprofen, realized that had a full bottle, had not been taking them. So, and I still to this day, I have no pain.
Yeah. And really I don't remember what all they are, but I feel like at least every 2, 3, 4 weeks for 2 years you were messaging me noticing more things, and Claudia's before and after pictures are just amazing, which I know y'all went when she said she'd been doing hair for 35 years, because you don't look like you could have been doing that for 35 years. But I mean, she has definitely reversed age. It is not just anti-aging, as Dr. Stan says. This is reverse aging technology. So, thank you, Claudia. I appreciate you sharing so much. And I'm gonna see if Katherine can unmute. And
It,
Katherine and Deidra are both on Claudia's team. Hey, Katherine, tell everybody what you do and how long you've been doing it.
I'm a master esthetician and I've been doing it about 20 years, but in the
Okay.
skincare industry, probably 30 years, but actual esthetician 20. And that people don't realize it is so brutal on your body, just like Claudia was saying. I would have really bad back pain, shoulder pain, wrist pain, numbing of like fingers, sciatica from standing all day, just aches and pains. And I went to a doctor and he told me I had to have surgery on my wrist. And then they realized it was so bad, they had to open my whole elbow and everything up. And
Ooh.
he said the other arm needed to be done too. But now that I'm patching, I don't have to. Um, but it's like really brutal on your body. And when he told me one day, well, you're just gonna have to like stop doing what's making it hurt. And I thought, well, how are you supposed to do that? What a dumb thing to say. And he's like, you're gonna have to go through your menu and evaluate the things that's causing you pain and remove them. He's like, I know what you do, but you're not gonna be able to continue. Your body's not gonna hold out. Well, I of course kept going and I put the second surgery off, but then I found the patches, and now all the pain I had in my right arm and my wrist and elbow and all that, I don't have to have surgery anymore. It's gone, which is crazy. My sciatica is gone. They put me on arthritis medicine for my fingers, and I'm not taking that anymore. Actually, I've never. I started to, and then I thought I'm not getting on another medication. I'll just suffer, and then it went away, like all the pain in my fingers, and my fingers were starting to get that, like that arthritic look. like uh, they were starting to get that, and I thought my mom has it really bad. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to retire before I'm like 65. I'm gonna be 60. Um, but just from once I started patching, and I was kind of different because I started in November, didn't really know what I was doing. I was looking for my dog and then decided I needed them. And things were happening and I didn't realize they were even happening. Like I wasn't really noticing them until people started pointing them out. So I don't have like an actual date where I could say like 2 weeks into patching because I didn't even really know what to expect. And then all of a sudden I started noticing all these things happening, sleeping through the night, that my hand wasn't hurting, that, my back wasn't hurting, my sciatica was gone, just all this craziness. My hair was growing, my nails were growing. I was, mainly sleeping through the night was great. I was on Ambien. I got off Ambien.
Wow.
Yeah, I threw away the arthritis medicine for my finger. I was like, I'm not going to take that. I started noticing my joints felt better. My rings were moving, like inflammation had left my body. And so then I think Claudia told me, like you need to keep writing this stuff down. And so I started writing everything down. It's like 15 different things. As I noticed, I was like, the only thing I've done different is the patches. And so I've been doing them now for a year. I can't tell you exactly. Like someone even said to me at work, "You look different," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And they were like, "Did you go somewhere and get Botox or filler?" I was like, "What?" And I said, "No, I've done nothing." And they're like, "No, you've done something." And I had like 3 people say that to me in a week. And Claudia had to point it out to me. She's like, "It's the patches." I'm like, duh. So I had to like write it down. I've always had a sensitive, upset stomach. I don't have issues with my stomach anymore. I mean, it's crazy the things. My blood pressure has gone down incredible. Like I'm going to be off blood pressure medicine because it's gone. Every time I go to the doctors are like, your blood pressure is almost low. I had restless leg syndrome from such bad, I think from the sciatic and everything, where I would put holes in my sheets. It's gone. My
Wow.
energy levels are better. I feel less stressed and more calm. I'm usually really hyper and kind of ADHD. Well, I am ADHD. I'm not on any medication for it. I can't take the medication. It bothered me. And like you, Claudia said, she's noticed a big difference that just when I talk to her now that I like can focus more and talk to her and I'm not all spazzed out and I'm more mellow and can hold a conversation better. So
Yeah.
so I think they go hand in hand with what I do. Um,
Mm-hmm.
make people feel good on the outside. And then I realized the patches are a perfect match, make them feel good on the inside because everybody comes in my room and you're a therapist. They lay down and next thing they're like, oh my God, my hip, my head, my arm. And I just listen. And then when I'm done, I just talk to them and tell them, they have something they can try. And I just feel like it's made such a difference because I feel like I'm helping people. And, it's a great business to run alongside with what I'm already doing.
Absolutely. And one last thing that I know you've told me before is, you can't work if you're sick.
Oh, yeah.
And so tell everybody about how often you used to be sick and how many times you've been sick since you've been patching.
Oh my gosh, yes, that is the main one. I wanted to actually throw myself a party in November. I have asthma. I sound like a sickly person, but I'm not anymore. But I have allergy aggravated asthma, and anything that goes to my lungs or people come around me, I would get and literally be out of work for weeks because you can't cough on people's faces when you're working on them. And the cough would always linger for weeks. And every time I had to go on steroids, usually 2 different rounds of antibiotics. They could not get the cough and stuff to calm down with me. Well, this is the first ever I've gone through. Basically, I started last November, and now we're into this. Now we're into December. I have not even had so much as a cold.
Wow.
And every year, I would get something that would literally knock me down from the time it started till I get back to work and not be coughing. Good 6 weeks after 2 rounds of prednisone and being on asthma inhalers and steroid inhalers, everything just to kind of get me so I could like breathe and stop choking.
Wow. That is amazing.
It's on a million, like not a million, 16 different things that I've written down, but I mean, I will never stop taking them for that alone because
Yes.
my immune system has gotten so much stronger. I have people come in my room and they'll start choking and telling me, oh, I'm not feeling well. And I'm like, great. I would be like, over for the next 2 hours. And then I think, oh, I'm going to be sick. And I don't get sick. I even was
Awesome.
and told me they tested positive for COVID. And I thought, oh, here we go. It's been 3 weeks. I don't have it.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, thank you, Catherine. I love it. I love it. I love your story. I love how much this has helped you and just given you a better quality of life. I
De-
mean,
Definitely.
and helps you work and stay at your job.
Saved me from a surgery because I was going to have to do the other wrist, and that was not pleasant to.
Yeah,
Because my
yeah.
fingers were going numb, and then not only going numb, but then they were getting arthritis on top of it.
Wow. And
So
now that's
yeah,
reversing.
I
That's
had
awesome.
left hand. I didn't know anything about the patches because, and then when he said it's way into your elbow, we had to open my whole elbow up. I was out of
Wow.
for that, and I was like, now my right hand has nothing. I don't have to worry about it. I'm not doing the surgery.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. And we're actually going to go over to Deidra. And Deidra, tell people about your journey because yours is a little bit different because your industry did take such a toll on you that you had to stop doing hair, correct?
Yes. Yes. I had a lot of the same issues that they had, the neck pain, shoulder pain, uh, back pain, all of that. But I also had frozen shoulders, both of them. I couldn't get them any higher than that. And I have varicose veins in my right leg. And I would have blood clots in those once to twice a year in the varicose vein itself.
Mm,
And 27 years, my 27th year, I was finishing up a client and I was stepping off the back of my mat and my back totally gave out on me. Little did I know that that night was the last time that I would do hair at all. 5.5 years. I was
wow.
in deep depression. My pain scale was a 10. I would tell the doctors it's at 100. I went to doctor's appointments. I did injections. Whatever they said take, I took. I was antidepressants. I had digestive issues, pain pills, muscle relaxers, ibuprofen, you name it, injections, nothing worked. I finally, at the 2.5 year mark, just gave up. I got into herbalism, tried to make my own concoctions to treat myself. I mean, I was literally at my wit's end. I didn't know what else to do. I'd done everything. Everything had been exhausted. I wasn't a candidate for surgery. No one could tell me what went wrong. And it literally took a pain pill, 10 milligram pain pill, 10 milligram muscle relaxer, 4 ibuprofen, and a lidocaine pain patch to make a 30-minute trip to the grocery store
Wow.
and walk around. And my husband would be the one lifting all the groceries. I was on a 5 pound weight limit, couldn't even lift a 5 pound bag of sugar, couldn't lift my grandchildren, couldn't get in the floor. My lower back and my hips hurt so bad that I literally would pray to God to die, to take me.
Wow.
I was that miserable.
Bless your heart. Well, how did you find the patches?
One day I was scrolling through Facebook and that young looking Claudia that don't look like she should be doing hair, because she's a baby. I was like, I was making a face oil, trying to make a face oil for my mother. And I was like, girl, what are you doing? You look a decade younger. She said, I'm patching. And I was like, send me info because whatever it is, I need to look at this. And then whenever I got to reading up on it, I was like, oh my God, this could literally help me with my back, all my medical issues, everything that I'm going through. And
So
I,
when did you start?
girl, I think I read up on it for 2 days, and then I said, sign me up. I bought a kit. I wasn't even playing. I patched. I got the patches on July the I think 29th, and then I woke up the next day on the 30th, and I wore my first set of patches. I did X39 and Eon. Um, I,
So a little over a year, almost a year and a half.
yeah, I've been patching 16 months now,
Okay, keep
and
going.
I patched, and then that night went to bed, and I got up the next day. I was in one of the best moods. It was like all my depression, all my anxiety, and when I tell you I lived in fight or flight, it was. I mean, I was stressed out, and I realized my hip pain was gone. I was at the coffee pot. And then I was like, oh my God, I just slept all night long because I didn't sleep for 5.5 years. Every time I would roll over in the bed, I would wake up. When I tell you I was at 100 on a pain scale, it was the worst pain ever in my life. And I was at the coffee pot and I was like, what in the world? And I'm pressing on my hips and I was like, my hips don't hurt.
So
Then
you were a one patch wonder.
Yes, I was a one pet. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, because I needed to be. Because I tell you, I was at my wits' end, and I kept on patching. And day 45, I was like my lower back pain. It went from a 10 down to like a 5, and that was like, you know, that was like no pain. And then the more I patched, it got to be the 3.5, 4 month mark, and I literally went back to work doing hair.
Wow. So it helped your shoulders.
Yes, I that in decades. My shoulders are unfroze. I have not had a blood clot in my varicose vein leg at all. My headaches diminished. Whenever I get off of work from whenever I'm doing hair, it's nothing like it used to be. Nothing. And whenever you go to bed, you sleep great. There's no like recovery time. I mean, it's the most craziest thing that I've ever experienced in my life. And on top of that, I was a 40-year smoker. I lived off caffeine and nicotine. And if
Mm.
old school hairstylist, you know, I January 20th will be 1 year cigarette free.
Well, praise God. That is awesome.
And it was literally the easiest quit that I've ever had in my life. And the only thing I did whenever I quit smoking was I added the SP6 and I added glutathione. And because normally I'm a very agitated, irritated, would like to punch you in the throat, quit smoking person. And I mean, let's be honest. I mean, if you're a smoker, you know what I mean. It was literally the easiest quit I've ever had. And my anxiety, it's just been the best ride of my life. I don't have my hands cramped no more because normally my fingers would do this and I'd be having to straighten them out and sling them to continue to blow out. I mean,
Wow.
it's literally been life changing. It literally gave me my life back.
Your life and your profession that
Yeah.
you love to do.
I mean, it's been an incredible ride.
That's amazing.
For anybody and everybody. I know it sounds unbelievable. I know it does, but I'm telling you, it is not. You,
Wow. Wow, that is amazing. Well, if you got on late, you definitely want to get this recording to hear everybody's story. These are just amazing transformations in people's health so that they could continue to do the jobs they love and not have to quit. Or in Deidre's situation, she was able to come back after years of not being able to work. She's back working. And oh my gosh, so glad that you were able to quit smoking. That is just so good for your health. And we're just so thankful that the patches have helped you and that Claudia introduced it to you and that Claudia introduced it to a friend that introduced it to Katherine. I mean, guys, this is just the absolute best company business ever for helping people. And it's just amazing how, you know people and you introduce them to this, but they know people that you don't know. And so that is the beauty of our networking company. All right, let's see if we can find Dr. Stan back and see if we can get him to unmute himself and tell people what are we talking about.
All right, guys. Again, so good to have you. What awesome testimonies of what this technology will do for people. This is it, a patch. It's just that simple, a Band-Aid. And most Band-Aids have a cloth in the middle. This one has what we call a nanocrystal. What on earth's a nanocrystal? Well, it's just a simple crystal that's designed to capture the infrared light heat energy that emits from your body. When we're alive, we emit heat and light, infrared energy. And our inventor over 20 years ago was working with the Navy SEALs, and he basically had come to understand a lot about longevity, studying stem cell research, and was just really interested in helping himself and others live longer, healthier lives based on science and technology. Well, God gave him this patch technology. That crystal that's formed on the inside of the patch was designed to capture that infrared light heat energy I was talking about. And so our inventor created the patch to where it could be put on the body. That's why it's a Band-Aid, so it sticks on the body. And when you stick it on the body, that energy is absorbed into the patch, into that crystal, and then that infrared light is reflected back into your body at certain waves of frequency. Just like the sun has different frequencies of light, when it shines on the earth, those different frequencies trigger vitamin D production in humans, hormone production, photosynthesis in the plants. So we know light is all about life. And so we're truly harnessing the power of that energy and bouncing it back into your body with the patch. Now, the patch is non-transdermal. It's made up of organic substances. Nothing goes into the body, nothing harms the body. It is just merely a reflection plate. It's designed to be worn 12 hours on and 12 hours off. The patch is basically put on the body behind the neck or below the belly button. In the case of our flagship product, X39, which is the master cell activation cells in the body. Those cells are the cells that can go in, rebuild, repair, heal, and restore the cells in your body that die off as we age. Unfortunately, we get to 30, we're not repairing and healing as fast as we did when we were in our teens or in our 20s. We hit 60, and it really slows down. And then by the time you hit your 70s, those master cells are not rebuilding the body, and we just start to unravel, fall apart, get sickness and disease. And of course, we all know aging eventually leads us to parting this world. But what this technology does is not only slow that aging process down, but it can actually reverse the aging. We have clinical studies that demonstrate if you wear this patch 12 hours every day, take it off, discard it, get it back up the next morning, put it on for 12 hours, discard it, and keep doing that. Our clinical studies demonstrate that you will reverse your biological age 8 years and 6 months. And that is why you're hearing all these wonderful testimonies. Those master cells are waking up so that you can rebuild, repair, heal, and restore just like you used to when you were much, much younger. So get back to the person that brought you to this podcast. I always like to say they must love you, they must appreciate you, they must want you to be well, or they wouldn't have shared this podcast with you. So get back with them, find out how you can get this technology, put it on your body, and come back one day on one of our podcasts and tell us how this technology has improved your life also. So, with that, guys, we just want to say until the next time, we do pray and hope that you'll use this technology and that you will decide to take advantage of the very best prices that the person who invited you here can help you with. So, with that, Jody, I guess we'll sign off until the next podcast.